New coach Scott Radiker's Northridge Raiders have split their first 10 games this season, led by the scoring of all-conference guard Jackson Erickson. But Warsaw coach Doug Ogle has an all-conference guard of his own in Nolan Groninger and some experience sized down low with players like Tyler Metzinger. It's a showdown of the co-leaders in the Northern Lakes Conference. Northridge and Warsaw collide next on the Game of the Week. You are looking at the fabled Tiger Den in Warsaw, where tonight 2 of the 4 co-leaders in the Northern Lakes Conference collide. The Northridge Raiders and the Warsaw Tigers among a quartet of teams that are 1-0 so far in NLC play this year, and they'll go head-to-head on this edition of the 46th Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? With the Hall of Famer Bob Nagel and Redeemer Radio Sports Director Angelo DiCarlo filling in for Bo Hunt. It's Chuck Freeby, and it's great to have you with us for our first basketball broadcast of 2019, and it should be a good one. Bob, the Northridge Raiders come in with a record of 5-5, but they have played teams from all across the state of Indiana. They've got a new coach in Scott Radiker, and he believes their pre-conference schedule has prepped them well for what they're going to face tonight.
Well, what they're going to face tonight and the next 3 or 4 weeks is a really tough schedule for them as well, but that's the way it is in the Northern Lakes Conference. They've got a couple of guys they can rely on. I'll tell you what, Jackson Erickson is one of our TV 46 All-Stars. It seems like every time he plays on our air, he does really well. He thinks he's Tim Firestone or something from back in the day. But they've also got Alex Stauffer's a big guy inside, and they got the Sams. You know, they got Vogt and they got Smith. Those guys need to help light it up. They're going to need everybody on board tonight with this challenge against Warsaw.
Warsaw is 6-4, but even their head coach Doug Ogle says consistency has been a problem this year. It's a team that has beaten a #1 ranked team in the state in Westview and then turned around and lost by 17 to East Noble. So which Tiger team do we see tonight?
Well, it depends what they try to do. If they try to go inside with Metzinger, he's a big, strong kid inside, but if they shut him down, if they can deny him the ball inside, then you go back to Nolan Groninger on the outside, who's probably a Northern Lakes Conference All-Star this year. They've got a bench with some guys that are a little bit unproven but ready to contribute, and Doug Ogle building his team as always. Discipline. They'll be very patient on offense, and they'll rebound the ball well here tonight.
The sports voice of Redeemer Radio, Angelo DiCarlo, joins us tonight, filling in for Bo Hunt. And Angelo, it might be kind of absurd to say that it's a big game in the first week of January. But when you look at the history of the Northern Lakes Conference, at least the recent history, it is a big game.
Well, and in the recent history of this conference, it's been one of these 2 teams winning the conference championship over the last 5 years. But this year, Memorial is probably the class of the Northern Lakes Conference. You lose tonight, you still got them to play. That's going to be an uphill battle. So I think this is kind of a must-win situation if you want to be a conference champion at the end of the year. And we know how much that matters here in the Northern Lakes Conference to both of these communities and both of these schools.
The Christmas season has almost ended. You might have a box of chocolates with just one left. Well, this game is kind of like it. You don't know for sure what you're going to get, but you know it's going to be good. We've got the Jordan Automotive keys to win next on the 46th Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Thor Industries, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. Simple, easy, stress-free. High atop the Tiger Den in Warsaw tonight is where we join you from as we get you ready for Northridge and Warsaw. Time now to look at our keys to win, which are brought to you by the aforementioned Jordan Auto Group. Gives you a little bit of an idea of our perspective on the game tonight as we come to you right above the scoreboard. Let's look first of all at the Northridge Raiders, and they are led by their senior guard Jackson Erickson, scoring about 17 points a game. He was an all-conference selection a year ago. Had a career-high 30 against Noblesville over the holidays, including 6 3-pointers. He'll need some help on the inside from Alex Stauffer, the 6'6 junior, is having a much improved season, averaging over 11 points and 6 rebounds a game. He had a career-high 18 points with 9 rebounds the last time out against Crown Point. The keys to win for new Northridge coach Scott Radiker.
The first thing is to switch up defenses, give Warsaw a lot of different looks, make them make decisions based on what they think they see. They got to push and then be patient. They got to look out of the backcourt for any break opportunities, but don't want to throw the ball away. And got to have extreme focus tonight. Every possession, every shot, get a body on the rebounders. Scott Rediker, in his first year at Northridge, knows the importance of this early NLC clash. So.
Yes, it's a huge conference game on the road. Warsaw, very well-coached team, very disciplined team, and they do a lot of great things offensively and defensively. And, you know, we're going to have a great level of focus tonight and focusing on what we do best and try to accomplish that and play as a team.
Now, for the Warsaw Tigers, they're led by another all-conference guard by the name of Nolan Groninger, the 6-foot senior, only averaging 13 points a game, but he's asked to play a different role on this team. And he, much like Jackson Erickson, has always played well on TV 46. His career-high 22 came against Northwood last year on our air. He'll have help on the inside from the big 6'8 senior, Tyler Metzinger. About 8 points and 6 rebounds a game. He's also a defensive force, leads the team with 26 block shots, and he had 5 of those in their upset of number 1 Westview a couple of weeks ago. The keys to win for Doug Ogle's Tigers.
Well, the microphone is not stuck, but I'm going to say rebound, 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 because it's what they do. Warsaw prides itself on that. They got to pound the ball in the paint. They got to get a post look every time down the floor, and defensive execution is going to be crucial, and I'm talking about aggressive discipline on defense, and the big guys got to avoid getting in foul trouble. They don't have an opportunity with a lot of backups of that size, but they can be a real force inside. And the head coach, Doug Ogle, tell you what, he's very much aware of how disciplined he's got to be tonight because of the balance and the talent in the NLC this year.
I mean, I think the front runners are Northridge, Elkhart Memorial, and ourselves. So tonight's game is important on how it ends up. But Northridge impresses me with the energy they're playing with. They're undersized, but they seem to get a lot of offensive rebounds. And then the combination of Alex Stauffer and Jackson Erickson is powerful in terms of scoring inside and outside. And then they've got other guys too, so we're going to have to play well.
Plenty to cheer about in Tigertown these days. Will they have another Northern Lakes Conference victory? Warsaw takes on Northridge. Those have been our Jordan Automotive keys to win. The tip-off is next on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. It's a beautiful night for basketball here in Indiana. Bob Nagel has the starting lineups.
We do, and here's a look at the starters for tonight's game. And again, both teams with 3 seniors in the lineup. Let's go first with Northridge. Starting at a guard, number 12, Carter Stolfus, a 5'9 sophomore. Drew Siegert wears number 14. He's a 6'1 senior guard. Jackson Erickson, also guard, 5'11 senior, wears number 32. Number 22 is Sam Vogt. He's a 6'1 senior. And Alex Stauffer is the big man inside for the Northridge Raiders, as he at 6'4" is going to have to battle some of the bigger guys in there for the Northridge Raiders. For the Warsaw Tigers, Nolan Groninger starts at a guard. He's a 6' senior. Also a guard, Blake Marsh, 5'11 junior. And Wyatt Amos, he's a 5'11 junior. Tyler Metzinger is the big man inside, 6'8 senior. He's helped in there by Jalen Reese. Reese wears number 41. He's a 6'4 senior. Look at the starting lineups for tonight's big NLC second round game. Chuck, hard to believe we're just past the first of the year, and we're already playing our second conference game.
While you see the spotlight introductions for the Warsaw Tigers, let's tell you about the history of this series, which dates back to 1988. It has been dominated by the Tigers, much as the Northern Lakes Conference has been. Warsaw leads this one by a count of 29-6. They played last year. We had it on TV 46. Warsaw won it by a count of 58-49, despite a terrific performance by Jackson Erickson, who scored 25 points in this one. The two coaches are veteran coaches. Doug Ogle and Scott Radiger chatting before the game. It's the first time they've gone head-to-head on the sidelines, but both have over 220 wins in their career. Radiger at 222 and Ogle at 253. Combined, they have 35 years of head coaching experience. Of course, Doug Ogle was an assistant here at Warsaw for a long time under Al Rhodes before he finally got the job 17 years ago. And before the game tonight, they honored Doug Ogle for his 250th career win that he picked up on December 7th.
Very nice moment for Coach Ogle. His family's in the house, and two grandkids are here, and he's got his team ready to go. And boy, I tell you what, Chuck, it's always a thrill to be here at Warsaw. The Tiger Den, one of the great venues here in the state of Indiana. We're ready for a good one, and here to call the play-by-play action tonight, our sports director at Family Broadcasting Corporation, Chuck Freeby.
Northridge in the green, Warsaw in the white, and the Tigers get the tip. They are 6-4 on the year. They beat Westview, ranked number 1 at the time, 50-47. All 4 of their losses have come to teams with winning records, but they did lose to 2 teams that Northridge beat this year, Crown Point and East Noble. Down low to Tyler Metzinger on the block. Blake Marsh now at the foul line. And Nolan Groninger at the point. Wyatt Amos for 3. The iron unkind, and while Stauffer boxed out well, Marsh was able to pick up the offensive carry. Northridge opens up in what appears to be either a 2-1-2 or a 3-2 zone. And Scott Radiker said he'd be mixing up his defenses tonight, but they had nothing to stop Metzinger inside that time. And the big 6'8 senior scores the first basket of the game. Now Northridge 5-5 on the year. Their best win was over East Noble, 52-47. All 5 of their losses came to teams with winning records. And Carter Stoltzfus, the sophomore, started with the ball up top, but Northridge moving it around well. This is Drew Siegert for 3. Off the back iron, and the rebound to Groninger. Here come the Tigers with the lead.
Big offensive rebound in that first set for Warsaw.
Amos for 3, ring it up. It is brought to you by Lakeside Chevy. Wyatt Amos's 19th three-pointer of the year makes it a 5-0 Warsaw lead.
Tigers averaging 2.5 points per possession. I only bring that up because they watch the numbers very closely. And again, that offensive rebound in their first series made that a 2-point possession.
Jackson Erickson from the wing can't connect. Groninger another defensive rebound. Well, that 3 by Amos the last time down the floor, a big one for him, Bob. He had only hit 2 in the last 4 games.
Shot the first one with a lot of confidence. Came off, didn't go in, but came right back.
Groninger now for 3. He misses badly. He's just 1 for 15 from 3-point range this year. And here come the Raiders the other way. Jackson Erickson. Now outside Siegert. And here's Stoltzfus. The all-conference soccer player gets it back over to Erickson. 17 points a game. He goes with the left-hand dribble, but forces it up, no good. Metzinger, the rebound. It's been 1 and done for the Raiders at this end. Metzinger for 3. Couldn't get it, and Stoltzfus the rebound. It's a quicker tempo than you might expect Warsaw to play as Stoltzfus misfires. And Northridge is sorried down to a stone-cold picnic early on.
Warsaw leads on the boards, 4-2.
Marsh on the outside, all-conference defensive back. Gets it outside. Here's Jalen Reese. His first shot of the game is good. So Reese, the 6'4 senior, averaging 5 points a game. And Warsaw, well, where's Bart Curtis? His team is up by a touchdown, 7-zip. And a turnover nearly committed by Northridge.
Warsaw's taken 6 shots in the ball game. Northridge has taken 3.
Here's Sam Vogt pulling up from the wing and hitting. So Vogt, the 6'2 senior, averaging 8.5 points per game. He's had 4 games in double figures. Finally gets Northridge on the board. It took them nearly the first 4 minutes of the first quarter. Groninger inside is fouled by Vogt. And Nolan Groninger, a 78% foul shooter, will go to the line for free throw, sponsored by R&B Car Company, as you get another look on the 46 replay.
And as you do, we'll tell you you shouldn't settle for another boring meal. Get a Papa John's pizza delivered now. Papa John's of Warsaw would like to offer any large specialty pizza for only $13.99. Call and order one tonight or any chance you get. Their number is 574-269-3200. Get in on the new Papa Rewards plan. Find out more at papajohns.com. And we'd like to thank Papa John's Pizza of Warsaw. They fed our production crew tonight with great pizza. Papa John's Pizza. Better ingredients.
Better pizza.
Thank you, partner.
Sorry. I was distracted by watching Alex Stauffer come down by the Warsaw trainer to get some help. As Groninger hits 1 out of 2, it's an 8-2 Tiger lead. We might have to check in with Angelo DiCarlo here in a minute. He's working the sidelines for us tonight to find out what's going on with Stauffer. In the meantime, coming in to replace him is Camden Knepp. He wears 24 out there. Erickson, no, excuse me, that was Vogt trying to drive, and the blocking foul called on Wyatt Amos, and there you probably see what's going on. Angelo, we've got a good camera shot of the blood coming out of Alex Stauffer's nose. Did you see what happened down there?
Yeah, he's just being worked on right now on the nose, got some blood on his hand as well. Didn't see exactly how it happened, but obviously being attended to is definitely a good little cut there, as obviously can't have blood on the jersey, especially when he tries to get back out there. So they're trying to clean him up right now, get his hands clean. And luckily for him, there is no blood on his jersey that I have noticed, so that'll be a big help.
Erickson hits the shot for Northridge to cut the lead to 8-4. Angelo's sideline report brought to us by our friends at Phil's Heating. Inside to Jalen Reese, and outside Adamek to Groninger, who posted up and charged. So Nolan Groninger called for his first foul overnight. And that's something that Doug Ogle warned his team Northridge was good at, drawing the charge.
And they are going to be aggressive inside trying to do that. 3:21 to go. Folks, Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The team at IFT is proud of their efforts, setting the standard for research and development. IFT and the teams in this game working toward the same goal. That's a great finish.
Jackson Erickson with the basketball for Northridge. Sam Vogt. Vogt almost triple team that time. And Erickson on the outside. We want to welcome those of you watching on the Facebook live stream tonight, sponsored by our friends at Southwind Flooring. Drop us a comment on our Facebook page. Let us know where you're watching the game at. Sam Vogt, left-hand dribble. Now Drew Siegert hands it off for Erickson, who a moving screen that time called against Northridge. It'll be called on Drew Siegert.
14, Drew Siegert, Pittsburgh.
Going to get a chance to visit with Drew Siegert a little bit at halftime. He's our student athlete of the week for the Northridge Raiders. Doug Ogle going to the bench, partner, and he is want to do that. He did that frequently in practice when we were here, and looking at different groups trying to work together.
Northridge countering as well. Sam Smith and Nate Bowman check in for the Raiders. Smith wears 30. Bowman wears 10. 8-4 Tigers, 2.5 left first quarter. Groninger trying to go to work on Bowman, and Bowman picks it right away from him. Good transition defense by the Tigers. Vogt on the baseline. Couldn't get it to go, and the rebound to Blake Marsh. Warsaw has numbers. Metzinger, midline. And you're right, they've dominated the boards, Bob.
They have 5-2 so far.
4 points now for Tyler Metzinger. 2 minutes to go, first quarter. Vogt goes to work with the left-hand dribble and drew the contact from Trevor Rumpel, the 6-foot senior. Both teams going back to the bench, and the good news for Northridge is Alex Stauffer can check back in.
There you go. Folks, LT Siding, Window and Door in Warsaw is your expert for all your home's exterior needs. They're locally owned and operated and carry the best quality products and service. Call them at 574-527-1738. That's LT Siding, Window and Door.
Sam Smith out of the double team. Now Sam Vogt for three. Vogt has 5. That's his 6th three-pointer of the year. And all of a sudden, it's a 3-point game again. So after the Tigers built that 7-0 lead, and Bowman picks Marsh's pocket. Nate Bowman, the 5'8" senior, gets a second steal of the first quarter and a layup, and Northridge has cut a 7-point lead to 1. This time, Bowman called for the foul on Marsh. Doug Ogle had been lobbying for that like he was in Washington.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's 3 made baskets in a row for Northridge, a team that got off to kind of a cold start. So, again, we're on that pace we talked about. First one to 50 could win this one. Right now, we're at 10-9 with $1:15 to go in the first quarter.
Marsh, now Metzinger. He tried to go down low. The ball tipped out of bounds off of Warsaw. It'll be Northridge ball.
Boy, seen a lot of good hustle inside, haven't we?
Well, and improving defense here by Northridge as the quarter has gone along. They're making some adjustments to what Warsaw is trying to do, and now all of a sudden the Raiders can grab the lead here late in the first quarter. Vogt has had the hot hand early, but it's Stauffer down low, missed the bunny, and then went over the back. Been a tough night tonight for the big 6'6" junior who gets his first foul.
He'd done a good job of avoiding the contact inside. They really need him to stay in the ball game, but a little frustration there. He had a good look inside, but put up too strong and then gets real aggressive on the rebound attempt. There's a foul.
Stauffer is just about the only size Northridge has at 6'6". It goes down to 6'2" among the players who have had action on the Northridge roster. Nice drive that time by Trevor Rumpel, but he lost the ball out of bounds. Warsaw will retain possession with 35 seconds left in the quarter.
I think he was looking for Metzinger to be going to the basket, but Metzinger was pulling out of there, and the ball deflected by Northridge.
Now Rumpel for 3. Trevor Rumpel, the three-pointer. It's sponsored by Lakeside Chevy. And the 6-foot senior hits his 7th three of the year. Smith has a good trigger. Sam Smith, the 5'10" sophomore, with his first bucket. He's had 3 straight games in double figures coming into this one. Warsaw will play for 1 shot. Here's Marsh all the way to the basket, and he drew contact and will go to the line.
Chuck, just a note about Sam Smith. He made his first shot, and he's a shooter. And shooters come out hot, they stay hot. That's a big plus for the Northridge Raiders if Smith can make the outside and opens things up inside.
Foul was called on Camden Knapp, his first, 5th on Northridge. R&B Car Company sponsors the free throws. Blake Marsh, a 55% foul shooter, hits the first. Jackson Erickson will check back in for some offensive purposes. Marsh, good ball handler, good defender. He's 2nd on the team in assists and steals and scores about 3.5 points per game. 5'11" junior. And he makes them both. 15-11 Warsaw. They'll apply pressure. Smith wants to let it go from half court. The bank's not open tonight, and the first quarter comes to an end. The 3-point shots were dropping for both teams tonight early on in this one. Wyatt Amos fired one in for the Tigers. Sam Vogt for Northridge. It's Warsaw by 4 at the end of 1 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week brought to you by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. We promise sideline reports even when Bo Hunt is not here. Angelo DiCarlo joins us tonight. Your thoughts on the first quarter, Ange?
All right, thanks a lot, Chuck. Alex Stauffer did get hit with an elbow during that first quarter. He actually looked over at me and smiled and was like, man, I just got pretty good in the face. He's feeling good now, obviously back in the game. They're going to need him. Averages 11 points, 6 rebounds a game. surprisingly, you know, they improved the play when he was out of the game. They didn't score in their first 4 possessions of the game, missed their first 4 shots. He comes out, that's when they started scoring. But clearly, with his size, they need Alex Stauffer here tonight, and obviously he's back in there and ready to go for the Northridge Raiders.
Angelo's sideline report brought to you by Bill's Heating. It's Carter Stoltzfus who misses the 3-pointer, and Metzinger collects the loose change.
5 out of 10 from the field for Northridge in the first quarter, 50%. Warsaw 5 out of 8, and they got to the line 4 times, made 3 of them, but they're 5 out of 8, 62% in that first quarter.
Problem for Warsaw was a couple turnovers.
Did have a couple of those.
Nolan Groninger outside, now Tyler Metzinger. Cross-court pass finds an open Amos for 3. Wyatt Amos has been a sniper this year for this Warsaw team, shooting 46% from 3-point range. That's his second 3 of the night. Brought to you by Lakeside Chevy. Erickson on the right-hand dribble. Groninger defended him well. Smith, a downtown 3 that's off the mark, and Amos soars high for the rebound. Receiver for the football team kicks it outside to Metzinger. Now the top side triple for Rumble, but that's off the mark, and the rebound comes to Erickson. Stoltzfus for 3. It's bombs away here in the Tiger Den.
You say nobody's afraid to shoot the ball. You love that kind of courage and confidence that they have.
Stoltzfus with his 7th 3-pointer of the year. Cross-court pass hauled in by Reese. Nice cut by Rumpel, and he lays it in. Warsaw will backdoor you all day long and all night.
Especially when Rumpel just came off a couple 3-point shots, and they think maybe he's going to square up. Did a good job getting inside.
Here's Stauffer working on Metzinger. Pull-up jumper is off the back iron and good for the first basket of the night for Alex Stauffer. And Northridge pulls within 4. Good pace to this one in the Tiger Den. Amos again for 3. He's hot. Sponsored by Lakeside Chevy. Amos with 9 tonight. He's only averaging 7 per game.
Only guy who can stop him right now is Doug Ogle, and I don't think he's going to take him out of the game.
Smith from the volleyball line. Nah. Metzinger the rebound. Groninger. Amos is open up top, and they give it to him. He's a little too far out up top. Metzinger had it poked away by Erickson, but Groninger recovers, and then Erickson fouls him. First foul on Jackson Erickson, and the 6th on the team as we take another look at the last 3-pointer by Wyatt Amos. And look at the inside-out game, get Amos open.
Right in the rhythm, too. I mean, caught, shoot, nice job. They're moving the ball well. Folks, Middlebury Community Schools, a top-achieving school district. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
You see Connor Lennox check into the game now, along with Keegan Larsh. Lennox wears 21, Larsh wears 31. They're getting their first action of the night as Doug Ogle really utilizing the bench to try to wear down this Northridge team. Nice steal over the top by Stoltzfus. Smith, but Warsaw got back well. Smith misses the pull-up, and here comes Marsh the other way. 7-point Tiger lead.
Smith made his first shot. He's missed the next 4. Might have been the worst thing that happened to him. He got feeling like he could hit him all night, but he's a good shooter.
Shot selection, perhaps a little questionable tonight. Groninger with the pull-up is short. Erickson in transition. He loves to do that. All the way to the hole, but he charged.
That's 2.
And Scott Radiker tells Jackson Erickson he doesn't want to hear it. Just wait for the substitute as Nate Bowman will come in. You get another look on the 46 replay. And set underneath the basket was Connor Lennox to draw the charge.
Tough call, certainly for Erickson, but with 4:32 to go in the first half, he's probably seen his last action here in the first half.
And I'm not sure what the problem is. I think there's a sideline warning being called here on Northridge's Scott Radiker for being too close to the floor. Scott's not exactly sure what he did wrong, and one of our officials will let him know. That's Justin Fall working the game tonight, along with John Hirschberger and Trent Long. Now reaching in, foul called on Nate Bowman. That's his second. And Warsaw now in the bonus will go to the line, where Tiger teams traditionally have done well.
Hook Lakeside Chevrolet is Warsaw's choice Chevy dealer. They're locally owned and operated and strive to give each customer an enjoyable car buying experience. And they proudly offer discounts for educators, college students, military, and first responders. Stop by this week and see their 2019 selection of cars and trucks.
Trevor Rumpel taking free throws, sponsored by R&B Car Company. 83% foul shooter, headed to Olivet Nazarene to play hoops next year. He has 7 here in the first half, and Warsaw with its biggest lead at 25-16. Carter Stoltzfus to Sam Vogt. He had 5 points in the first quarter. Hasn't done anything yet in the second, but that does not change there. Vogt gets his own rebound.
Good hustle. It's a key possession here for Northridge. Don't want to go down by double digits.
Warsaw currently on a 5-0 run. Northridge has hit some big threes tonight when they've needed them. They might get one here. Instead, Stauffer goes down low, kicks it outside, and it's deflected away and out of bounds. It'll be Northridge ball.
Doug Ogle having a little conversation with one of the officials as well.
Sam Smith is for the Raiders. 35, Tyler Metzinger, and 41, Jalen Reese.
So both teams will go back to the bench. Jalen Reese and Tyler Metzinger check back in. Nate Bowman in for Northridge. And it's Bowman with the basketball up top. Here's Vogt behind the back dribble. Smith thought about the NBA three. They try to force it down low to Stauffer, and Metzinger comes over the top and fouls him. His first, the team's third.
Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite team from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan. As the largest RV manufacturer in the world, and with 16 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we've got a spot for you on our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com to get started.
Vogt triggers the inbounds pass, nearly clipped a cheerleader on the way over to Bowman. Northridge having to be patient now. Bowman launches the three and misses, and the rebound comes to Amos, who's had a wonderful first half. But he throws a bad pass there, and Bowman collects his third steal of the half.
4 turnovers for Warsaw the first half, just 1 for Northridge.
Down the lane, nice pass to Smith for 3. He misfires as well. Northridge has really been streaky in its shooting, and finally a holding call against Warsaw. They're going to hit Metzinger with his second. And Doug Ogle quickly goes to the bench to put Groninger and Adamek back in the game.
And Luke Adamek in for the Tigers.
To a 9-point lead, and Northridge working real hard to try to keep that at single digits at the worst.
Northridge has not been able to fool Warsaw with any of these inbounds plays, but Stauffer now has the ball down low, and he travels. Groninger came over for a great double team.
Really good defense, too. Jalen Reese was there. They surrounded him. He had nowhere to go. Had to take the extra step.
So a huge defensive possession there for the Tigers, and now Warsaw with a chance to make it a double-digit lead late in the first half. Luke Adamek, the sophomore, drives baseline, blocked by Stauffer. Nice play by the big junior, and then he gets fouled over the top by Jalen Reese. And you see what a difference maker Alex Stauffer can be.
He really is. And those minutes he missed in the first half were big, but team played around. And folks, if you're interested in improving all areas of your fitness, program, or sport, and who isn't after the first of the year, join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka, Beacon Sports Performance. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit their website at beaconhealthandfitness.org. Do it today.
Sam Vogt, pull-up jumper is off the mark. Boy, Northridge has missed several in a row here, and Warsaw with a chance to put them away. Groninger lost it off his foot, but Adamek was there to recover.
Has been kind of a one and done for Northridge with the rebounding of Warsaw.
Groninger tried to force the pass. It's stolen away by Vogt. Here come the Raiders, still trailing by 9.
5th turnover for Warsaw.
Northridge with just 4 points so far in the second quarter, and that's not going to get any better with that pass.
Gave it right back. Well, the score has been locked there at 25-16 for quite a while.
Reese from the foul line. No good, and the rebound comes down to Drew Siegert of Northridge, whom you'll meet at halftime, one of our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. Smith sets and releases for 2. Sam Smith now with 4. Let's see if Warsaw will try for one shot. Rumpel up top. Amos, who has 3 3-pointers in the first half. So you know Northridge has to cover him up. That leaves Rumpel open for 3. Trevor Rumpel now with 10 in the first half. The 3-pointer sponsored by Lakeside Chevy. 10-point Tiger lead. And a timeout taken by Scott Radiker. 31 seconds left, first half. And Warsaw leads at 28-18 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Game of the Week is brought to you by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. Inside that Northridge huddle, Scott Radiker cannot be pleased with what he's seen from his team offensively here in the first half. They just haven't shot the ball very well.
They've had some good looks too, Chuck. And again, you don't want to, as a coach, you don't want to be harnessing those shooters. You want to let them feel good about taking a shot, but they have been off, and they've been one and done, and that's one of the things for the Tigers. They've rebounded. They lead in that category by a margin of 9-5.
What a way to make a living.
I'll set him up, you knock him down.
Northridge holding for one shot. Sam Vogt working on Trevor Rumpel. And 5-second violation called against Northridge, and Warsaw get the ball back.
Turnover number 4 for Northridge.
Number 10, Bowman. Number
5
12,
so far for Warsaw, and that was a big discrepancy a few minutes ago.
Ganger.
Nate Bowman, Carter Stoltzfus, and Carson Ganger all check into the game here for Northridge. Ganger making his first appearance, a 6'3" junior. Blake Marsh handles the ball up top for the Tigers. Let's see what play Doug Ogle calls. Looks like push down. Down low it goes to Reese, and Reese couldn't put it in. The ball tipped away, and that's how the first half will end. So the Warsaw Tigers will take a 10-point lead to the locker room, 28-18. We go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Angelo DiCarlo has Doug Ogle.
Coach, obviously a 10-point lead at halftime. Your thoughts on the way your team is playing here?
Our defense was pretty good, Angelo. Did a lot of good things. Shot pretty well. Made some threes. So, I mean, if we could take care of the ball a little bit better, but that's a good half for us, really it is.
White, Amos, and Trevor Rumpel combined for 19 points in that first half, well above their averages so far. Talk about the contributions they're giving you.
Well, they both shoot it straight, and so we're thankful for that.
And then on the flip side, you got Stauffer and Erickson. You've held them to 4 combined points. How huge was that for you guys?
Oh, big. Really big. So we need that to continue.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Angelo.
All
guys,
right,
back to you.
Ange. The sideline report brought to you by Bill's Heating. When we come back, you'll meet our TCU Student Athletes of the Week. Warsaw has put on a 3-point shooting display and leads by 10 at half on 46.
And we're back with you from the Tiger Den in Warsaw, Indiana, and a chance to meet our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. And a couple of outstanding student athletes, but not very good in math because neither one of them could figure out. One guy's a 12.4 on a 12 scale, and the other guy's a 4.3 on a 4 scale. It's making me look bad, but congratulations to both. Jack Arojo is with us from Warsaw. Jack, we'll talk to you in just a moment.
All right, sounds good.
All right, Drew Seegert is with us from Northridge High School. And Drew, first of all, congratulations on all your success, not only in track and also basketball, but what you're doing in the classroom. Well done.
Thank you.
Talk about what it takes to get that done. I mean, you're talking about a guy that's got to be really disciplined about time management, those kind of things.
Yeah, I just, like, school comes easy to me, so I don't really take a whole lot of time, like, outside of practice and stuff. Like, I can just do it right away. Like, it's not really that big of a deal for me, time management. Like, I just know what I need to get done, and I get it done, so.
A lot of times the guys want to go out and get a pizza, and you say, I got studying and I got a paper due, and you're taking care of business.
Yeah, exactly. I just focus on school first, and then after that, you know, if I have free time, then I do, you know, what I want.
Talk about what event you're involved with track.
I'm involved with high jump, and I do run sprints on JV, but varsity high jump is what I mainly do in track, so.
Good for you. I didn't mind jumping. I hated landing.
Yeah.
If you miss the pit, it's really painful. Talk about what's ahead for you academically and where you want to go to college.
I want to go to Indiana Wesleyan University and study sports media, and hopefully I can do like journalism or statistical things for sports. I love sports, so I know I want to do something with that, but I'm not really sure exactly what.
Well, then you're involved in teams. Talk about the team that's got your back at home and here at Northridge High School. You got a good group behind you.
Yeah, they're great, and I love being around them, and it's fun, so just couldn't ask for better guys to be with, so.
How about a shout out to Mom and Dad and people behind you at home?
Yeah, Mom and Dad, Amy, Brian, and my brother and sister, Colin and Beth, and my grandparents too, because they always support me. They come out to my games and stuff, so love them all, so.
There you go. Nice job, Drew. Appreciate you being with us, and congratulations again on your success.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Drew Seegert from Northridge High School, and Jack Rojo is with us. Jack is a cross-country runner, and also then you get involved in basketball here at Warsaw. And first of all, congratulations on all you're doing and doing so well.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
You are involved with the Warsaw basketball at the highest level. Now, there are players who get rebounds and players who get points, but at Warsaw, the tradition has always been number one, the manager is one of the main guys, but you're also involved in the stats, and that's one of the biggest things that goes on here at Warsaw.
Yeah, I've started that my sophomore year and just really enjoyed it. It's been a great opportunity for me just not only to volunteer, but just be a part of something I love, basketball, and continue that. And I've really enjoyed it.
I know when Al Rhodes was here, and he was always real cognizant of the numbers. Points per possession was always big with him, and I know our head coach Doug Ogle now is the same way, and so those things are so important. But you're also involved, and you know what it's like to be an athlete, but to assist the athletes and help with their success has to mean a lot.
Yeah, it really does. It's a different perspective from, you know, running cross country where you're part of the team, but you know, you're still part of the team as a manager, and Coach Ogle does a really good job of communicating that, and we really appreciate that from him, and it's definitely a different way of looking at it, but still means the same, and he always tells us it's just as important, and we really appreciate that from him.
Tell us what's ahead for you academically at the college level.
Well, I want to attend Purdue University. I want to study something in business, primarily accounting or finance. Been taking a lot of classes in those and really enjoyed it. Like working with numbers, obviously with stats and everything. So that's what I'm looking at right now. But yeah.
Congratulations on your involvement. Give a shout out to the people that matter in your life.
All right. Well, Mom and Dad, thank you very much for just pushing me to be the best person I can be. Thank you for being there for me. Coach Mills from cross country, thank you for pushing me again. Just thank you for everything you've done for me, all the opportunities. And Coach Ogle, for sure. Coach Ogle, I really appreciate you and everything you've done for me, all the opportunities. You know, always communicating to me that even though I'm a manager, it's still just as important, and you've been pretty important to me. Thank you very much.
Outstanding effort there. You know, I don't know, a lot of people don't know I ran cross country in high school. I got cut after getting lost twice, so that was the end of it for me. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, Jack Rowe from Warsaw High School and Drew Seegert from Northridge High School, our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. We're back with halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. Certainly bright times tonight here in Warsaw, where the hometown Tigers lead Northridge by a count of 28-18 in this Northern Lakes Conference tussle. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. nothing new from what we've seen from Warsaw teams in the past. They defend, they rebound. That's what they do.
You know, sometimes on stat sheet at halftime, you look to see where you can find the 10-point difference here. They made 5 3-pointers, and that's 6 points more than Northridge did the first half, and they were 5 out of 6 from the line. That adds up to 10 points for me, and that's been the big difference. But again, Chuck, there's a lot of big plays, a lot of big 3-pointers in that first half for Warsaw.
So let's show you how it got to be this way inside the Tiger Den, because Warsaw came out firing on all cylinders. Wyatt Amos hit a 3. Jalen Reese hits that shot. It's 7-0 Warsaw. Finally, Northridge gets on the board with this Sam Vogt jump shot as he hits that one, and then the Tigers would answer. Trevor Rumpel starts to find the mark from 3-point range. Still, Northridge hunt around. Sam Smith helps the Raiders only trail by 4 after 1 quarter. But then in the second quarter, it's Amos again with a 3-pointer from the wing. And the teams would start exchanging those 3-pointers. Carter Stoltzfus on the outside for Northridge. But look at the ball movement here by Warsaw. They find Rumpel going through the back door for 2 of his 10 points. And Amos would hit another 3 up top. He had 9. And here at the half, 28-18, a look at the first half numbers, Bob.
Well, the big number you're going to see there again is the rebounding, 15-8 advantage for Warsaw. And the thing about Northridge, they took a lot of threes. They took 10 of them, just like Warsaw did, only made 2. And when you look at the effect there, it was one and done most of the time when they shot the 3. And those led to some big rebounds by Warsaw, some outlet passes, and good opportunities at the other end. Warsaw's been the better team here in the first half. Northridge needs to make a few adjustments. Mostly, they've got to make some of those good open shots that they had in the first half.
Warsaw has outshot Northridge. They've out-free-throwed Northridge. They've out-rebounded Northridge. They've outplayed Northridge, and they're up by 10 at the half. 28-18 our score. When we come back, Angelo DiCarlo will tell us about the adjustments that Scott Radiker plans to meet at halftime. You're watching the 46th Game of the Week, brought to you on social media by Southwind Flooring. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. 28-18, Warsaw on top of Northridge. Teams getting ready for the second half. And the Warsaw defense has done a stellar job once again tonight. And if you look at Warsaw over the course of the season, Bob, they have held 5 opponents to 40 points or less. The Tigers, not surprisingly, are 5-0 in those games, and Northridge on a pace to get less than 40 tonight.
Well, that's going to be a tough thing for them to do. Number one, they got to stop Warsaw, and the 3-point shooting has been so effective. Got to find a way to get some baskets in there. They've had some good looks.
Let's get a quick sideline report from Angelo DiCarlo, who talked to Northridge coach
Scott Radiker.
I
talked to Scott Radiker just before the start here of the third quarter. He said, hey, we got to do a better job in the glass. And obviously, Alex Stauffer not being in for a part of the first quarter with that nosebleed played a factor in that. But he says they're getting good looks. They just got to make some shots, and that's the biggest thing that could turn things around. Rebounding and making shots. It's as simple as that, guys.
Test of Angelo's athleticism tonight. He had to go baseline to baseline in about 15 seconds there.
Well, he was running on an orange strip, and as a Syracuse guy, that pumped him up.
28-18, the Tigers with the basketball and the lead. Nolan Groninger looking for some help, and they go down on the block to Tyler Metzinger, who goes up strong. Couldn't get that one to drop, though. The rebound to Jackson Erickson, and he is tied up on the held ball by Wyatt Amos, but it'll be Northridge basketball. It's interesting that Warsaw went with that play. When we attended Northridge practice yesterday, we watched the film session, and Scott Radiker said they will go to Tyler Metzinger coming out in the second half. And what did they do, Bob?
Well, they did, and he had a good look, but he missed it. And fortunately for Northridge, they're able to get the jump ball on the alternating possession.
Erickson down the lane, lays it up for 2. Jackson Erickson with just 4 points tonight. He's averaging 17 a game. They go down on the block to Metzinger again, and this time he draws the contact from Sam Vogt, and he'll go to the line for 2, sponsored by R&B Car Company.
Vogt has his second foul. Folks, Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of your growing future, whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business. Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com and start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
Metzinger, a 62% foul shooter, big Purdue fan, an academic all-state high jumper in track, and he has 6 points tonight. 30-20 Warsaw. Erickson for three. He's starting to heat up. Jackson Erickson with his 20th three-pointer of the year, and Doug Ogle wants a timeout. 7:03 to go. Third quarter, Northridge cuts the gap to 7 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies, the industry knowledge for metal finishing solutions. The team at IFT proud of their efforts, setting the standard for research and development. IFT and the teams in this game are working towards the same goal. Bob Nickel, that's a great finish.
And I'm hoping that we have one here tonight. We've got a great start for Warsaw. They lead it by 7, but good timeout by Doug Ogle. They made their first 2 shots in the second half. Hadn't done that throughout the first half, and he wants to stop the momentum.
They tried to lob it down low to Metzinger. The pass hit the rim. Now Amos puts the carom up, no good. And here comes Stauffer the other way with Northridge. A little bit of a look of chagrin on the face of Jalen Reese, who threw that pass, but Metzinger gets the ball back for Warsaw with some diving defense.
Northridge had a chance to cut it to 5.
Wyatt Amos, nice bounce pass to Blake Marsh. The mid-range jumper, though, doesn't go. And Stauffer kicks out the outlet pass for Northridge.
Good look by Marsh.
Erickson in transition had it rim out. Here comes Amos the other way. Erickson rushed that shot just a bit. Reese travels.
Warsaw Tiger turnover.
So Northridge keeps hanging around. They were down by double digits at halftime. But a bucket here could trim it to 5, maybe even 4.
8 turnovers in the ball game so far for Warsaw, which would be a good game total for a Doug Ogle team.
Stauffer outside. Siegert didn't want to pull the trigger. Stauffer aggressively posting up on Metzinger. Cross court, Vogt for 3. In rhythm. Sam Vogt now with 8, his second 3 of the night. And all of a sudden, we're back to a 4-point game in the Tiger Den. Doug Ogle warned his team about the catch and release ability of Northridge, and we've seen it a couple times already here in the third quarter. Groninger through the back door for 2. His first basket of the night.
He was due. Found a way to get him the ball, get on the scoreboard.
Erickson and Vogt playing a little triangle game with Stauffer. Vogt for 3. Another catch and release, and he's got 11, his third 3 of the night. 8 3-pointers on the year now for Sam Vogt, the 6'2 senior. It's his 5th game in double figures this season. Groninger, foul line jumper. Short, but he gets his own rebound as Warsaw continues to attack the glass, and Amos makes them pay. A 3-pointer sponsored by Lakeside Chevy, the 4th of the night for Wyatt Amos.
Bart Curtis might try to make him a quarterback the way he's throwing that ball.
Erickson banging bodies. Now Stauffer into the lane, but the jumper is awry. Siegert, the rebound, gets hammered by Metzinger. Third foul on Tyler Metzinger. And both teams will be making substitutions here.
6 3-pointers tonight for Warsaw. Northridge has improved here in the second half. They've made 2, and they had 2 in the first half. 4 made 3-pointers there.
Drew Siegert, his first point of the night. He's a 77% free throw shooter as you see the subs come in. Let me tell you this about Drew Siegert. And you had him on at halftime. Member of the math team at Northridge. He did so well in a math competition, he earned a $3,000 scholarship to Trine University.
Hit them both.
And he can tell you 1 and 1 is 2, which is what he got at that trip to the line. Carter Stoltzfus replaces Siegert, who'll do math problems on the bench.
And, you know, he made a comment during our interview. I enjoy mathematics. Something wrong with that, you know. What a terrific, you know, every time we do those interviews, Chuck, you feel so good about what's ahead for our country and our community.
Amos, the bank is He's open in Warsaw tonight. His 5th three-pointer of the game. Wyatt Amos with 15, and the Warsaw lead back to 7, and then a steal by Adamek. Here comes Groninger all the way, and he draws the foul. They'll call it on Camden Knepp, his second. And Nolan Groninger will go to the line, but take a look at the three by Wyatt Amos. I don't think he called this one. He got it anyway.
That's why they put a backboard up there.
Groninger misses the first free throw attempt. And Keegan Larsh will come in for Jalen Reese. Blake Marsh wants to come in, but he'll be coming in if Groninger hits the free throw. Groninger, a state qualifier in the 4x800 relay last season, now has 4 points in the game. And Warsaw pushes the cushion back up to 8.
(13-9) advantage for Northridge here in this quarter, but they trail by 10 at halftime. They're down 8 right now.
Sam Smith, hawked by Marsh up top. Now here's Camden Knepp. Vogt has had a hot hand here in the quarter. A couple of three-pointers for Sam. Now Knepp tried to work his way to the bucket. He was fouled well before the shot went up. It's going to be on Luke Adamek, but you take a look at the hot hand that Sam Vogt has had here in the third quarter.
Well, knocks it down from the corner, gets another look out top. I love a guy who can make it anywhere. A lot of times you'll find a guy, I like it on the wing, I like it in front, but he's made him all over the place tonight. And so is Amos. Boy, I tell you what, a couple of good shooting performances.
Knepp hands it to Jackson Erickson. Marsh trying to be physical with him. Now Knepp down low on the block to Stauffer. Knepp down the lane, couldn't get it to go, but he'll go to the line for 2. Call the foul on Trevor Rumpel, his second. And here's Camden Knepp, a 72% free throw shooter. Pretty good baseball player, pitcher and a shortstop on the Raider team. And he's had a pretty good touch from the field this year, Bob. 7 for 12 from both 3-point range and 2-point range.
Makes the first one, hell of another one. We're going to see a substitution now as Warsaw goes to the bench again.
And Carson Ganger checking in for Northridge.
Ganger, a 6'3" junior.
So Knepp hits both. He has his first 2 points of the game. And boy, Northridge just keeps hanging around. It's 39-33. The winner tied for the Northern Lakes Conference lead with the winner of tonight's game between Memorial and Plymouth. And Warsaw just throwing the ball away out on the wing.
Pass intended for Keegan Larsh, just a little bit beyond his reach.
Doug Ogle was not happy with the entry passes yesterday in practice. It hasn't changed today.
Yeah, nobody would have got any Skittles or Mr. Goodbar on that one.
Here's Erickson, got a step on Marsh, but Marsh forced him into a tough shot, and Erickson couldn't hit it. Rebound out of bounds off Ganger. It'll be Warsaw basketball.
Erickson's had a pretty good night, but he's forced it a couple of times.
Couple of halftime scores to pass along. We can tell you that Concord leads Goshen at the half, 21-14. That sounds like a football score. And Penn on top of Adams, 44-37. Marsh all the way to the basket, kicks it off for Metzinger, and he is fouled.
Carson Ganger going to get called on the foul, I believe.
First on the big fella. You'll get another look at it on our 46 replay as Metzinger goes back to the line.
I think they actually called a foul on Camden Knepp.
Well, you're right. That's his third. So Metzinger hits the first. He has 7 points tonight. Metzinger has bought himself a motorcycle that he's riding these days. I don't know how much he's riding it around during the season.
Could have ridden it today. It's 50 degrees out.
Oh, true.
Goodness, this time of year.
young man who is a big Purdue fan, and we join the rest of America in saluting the life well lived of Tyler Trent, that young super fan who died of cancer on New Year's Day. 8 points now for Metzinger. Erickson dribbles the ball up top. 2 minutes left to go, third quarter, as you see on the Thor Industries scoreboard in the lower right-hand corner of your screen.
Northridge didn't need to come all the way back from 10 down, but they needed to cut it in half or so, and they got an opportunity now with a 3.
Smith from the baseline fires one home. Sam Smith with 6. And the lead is 6 for Warsaw. Marsh looking for the screen from Metzinger. Now Groninger outside. That got Reese open for 3. Jalen Reese is a dangerous three-point shooter. That's his 8th of the year. He shoots almost 40% out there, and then a foul called underneath on Warsaw as Erickson tried to drive.
Hey, a big thank you to the folks from Papa John's Pizza of Warsaw for feeding our production crew tonight with great pizza. Papa John's, better ingredients, better pizza. Don't settle for another boring meal. Get a Papa John's pizza delivered now or anytime you want one. Papa John's of Warsaw would like to offer any large specialty pizza, just $13.99. Call and order one next chance you get. Get in on the new Papa Rewards plan. Find out more at papajohns.com.
Erickson misses a 3 off the inbounds. Warsaw has the lead back to 9, and then Erickson with a silly foul.
A couple of his fouls tonight have been a little questionable, a little bit too much emotion at times.
And Sam Smith will give Erickson a respite right here for the final 107 of the third. Warsaw with a 9-point lead as Metzinger takes a foul line jumper and hits. Tyler's had a nice night. He's got 10 points, his 4th game in double figures this year. And the lead back into double digits, but only briefly, as at the other end, Sam Vogt gets nothing but the bottom of the net.
Vogt's come up with some big shots here, especially in the second half. He's 3 out of 3 from the field.
Look at the move there by Marsh, and the little mid-range jumper can't go. The rebound foul called on Jalen Reese. His second. I believe that's the 5th on Warsaw here in the second half.
Northridge doing a little bit better on the boards. Scott Redeker, where the job is underway, building a program, loves the cooperation effort he's getting from the kids.
Came here from Lafayette Jeff, where he had 8 years in there, and then after 9 seasons at North Montgomery, Dave Harms, the Northridge AD, says Scott just has a great caring for kids, and that's what made him stand out in their choice of him as coach. Sam Vogt trying to avoid a 5-second call here. Also try to avoid a walk. Camden Neck couldn't. Now Warsaw will get a chance with 6 seconds left in the third quarter. Doug Ogle is big on end of quarter situations. Let's see if they can execute it here.
Change the lineup. They're going to get the big guy. Stoffer off the floor, so no foul from him here at the end of the quarter.
Groninger gets the ball from Reese. Picked his pocket, did Sam Smith, but he couldn't hit the shot. Knepp forces one at the buzzer. It won't go. And the third quarter comes to an end. A back and forth third quarter with all kinds of drama here inside the Tiger Den. Why not? The Northern Lakes Conference lead is on the line, and right now Warsaw leads at 46-37 on a nosebleed edition of the 46th game of the week. The 46th game of the week brought to you by the Indiana High School Athletic Association, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. Downstairs we go for another Bills Heating Sideline Report. Angelo DiCarlo, what stood out to you through the first three quarters?
I'll tell you what, guys, Jackson Erickson hit his first 2 shots of the third quarter, and that's what allowed Northridge to get back in the game. And then he wasn't able to make another shot the rest of the quarter, and Northridge only able to cut the deficit by 1 point from halftime to now the start of the fourth quarter, and the lead sitting at 9 points still. So when you think about the fact that Erickson averages 17 points a game, sitting on just 7, they need him to score a lot more here in the fourth quarter to make the rally.
And here's the thing working against the Northridge Raiders. Warsaw is 5-0 when leading after 4 quarters so far this year. So Doug Ogle's team would appear to be in the catbird seat right now. Pretty good free throw shooting team at 72% for the year.
Chuck, in the pregame we talked about the importance of working hard every possession. And Warsaw right now controls their destiny.
But a travel called on Blake Marsh.
Number 10.
LT Siding Window Door in Warsaw is your expert for all your home's exterior needs. They're locally owned and operated and carry the best quality of products and service. Call them at 574-527-1738. That's LT Siding Window and Door.
Left-hand dribble for Sam Vogt. He drew contact, nothing was called, and Metzinger gets the rebound for Warsaw. Tigers will be very patient coming the other way with a 9-point lead. Jalen Reese hit a big three-pointer a moment ago, but Sam Vogt right in his face.
Warsaw continue to shoot well, 56% for the game through 3 quarters.
Wyatt Amos has hit 5 three-pointers tonight. He finds the back door open, and Groninger got the bucket in the bump. So Nolan Groninger now has 6 points, and you'll get another look at this pretty backdoor execution, which has been a staple of the Warsaw offense since Jim Miller coached here.
Hey now. Going back a while. They've had a great tradition here at Warsaw. They are in pretty good position now, leading by 11.
6:37 to go in the ball game. The Tigers up 48-37 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Football Game of the Week, High School Basketball Game of the Week. It's brought to you by Thor Industries, who say, we're paying freebie to talk better than that. Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. Chuck Freebie, Bob Nagel, Angelo DiCarlo back with you. And Northridge or Warsaw has won this Northern Lakes Conference each of the last 5 years. Last year they shared the title. Of course, a lot of people keeping an eye on a game over in Marshall County tonight between Elkhart Memorial and Plymouth, the other two teams who are 1-0 in the NLC after the first round of action.
Chuck, you mentioned the game between Goshen and Concord. Wouldn't sound like one that's so important, but this early in the season, you could be out of the race. You get your second loss. So the winner of that game stays in the race.
And even though Derek Deshawn's team has only had 1 win thus far this season, do not count them out. They will be better in the month of January. I guarantee you that. Nolan Groninger trying to finish a 3-point play, and he does. He now has 7 points tonight. Warsaw with its biggest lead of the night at 49-37.
They talk about Groninger with 7. He's their leading scorer coming in, but because they have really focused on him defensively, he gave other opportunities to players like Wyatt Amos, who's really stepped up.
Sam Vogt found Stauffer down low, but they've kept the big man quiet tonight, so Stoltzfus has to hit a pull-up jumper. Carter Stoltzfus now with 5 points tonight, a 5'9" sophomore. Warsaw double teamed. Amos needs help. He found the open man. Rumpel couldn't have had an easier shot.
Passed by Trevor Rumpel.
That was a good opportunity there to do the math. You got 3 or 4 guys around you. Somebody's got to be open.
12 points now for Rumpel. Erickson short at the other end. Good rebound by Vogt. Erickson knocking bodies over. Stauffer for 3 connects. And a timeout taken by Scott Radiker. We'll keep it here with 5:37 left, and Warsaw up by 9.
You know who's really proud of the Northridge Raiders? Well, that's the Middlebury Community School Corporation, a top achieving school district. Middlebury Community Schools, where achievement and innovation are hallmarks of a great education.
A reminder, next Friday night, there's more high school basketball action. Well, this one should be pretty good. You got the #1 team in Class 3A, the Marion Knights, going over to South Bend Riley to take on Jalen Jennings, Gabe Johnson, and the Riley Wildcats. That should be a lot of fun. A whole lot different pace than this one, I bet you. That'll be Friday night at 11, Saturday morning at 9 on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
And Chuck, what do you think Rob Berger knows about Riley basketball? Well, he grew up playing it. His dad coached it. And Rob Berger moving in on a couple of milestones in his career. Not only wins at Marion, but career wins.
That'll be a fun one to watch. This one has been as well. The Crimson Chargers and Plymouth over in Marshall County playing for part of the NLC lead, and then Northridge and Warsaw here inside the Tiger Den. Warsaw with a 9-point lead, and let's see if Northridge can execute some full court pressure here. They feel as though Warsaw has struggled at times with pressure this year.
Remember in our pregame show, I said first one to 50 wins. Right now, that looks a lot like Warsaw.
We'll see how that holds up. Amos saw they handled the pressure easily that time, and Groninger goes the distance but couldn't hit. And then an over-the-back foul on Metzinger, and that's his 4th.
A tough miss on the break that time.
And I think Northridge, scoreboard shows Northridge in the bonus, but that might be on the next foul.
Great facility here at Warsaw. Can't say enough about the hospitality. Dave Anson and his great staff here at Warsaw. Appreciate that very much.
They're adding a new activity center that'll have 4 more basketball courts in it. That ball rimming out on Camden Knepp. That could have made it interesting. As it is, Warsaw struggling to hang on to the ball, but Amos got out of there with it.
That's a good non-shot right there. Disciplined approach by Rumpel. Don't need the shot, need the possession.
So now, let's see what gets called here. And Northridge will send in Drew Siegert.
14.
Foul called on Northridge. It'll be called on Camden Knepp. That's his 4th. And both teams will be in the bonus for the final 5:03. Backdoor again, Groninger through it. He has 9, and a steal by Warsaw. Groninger for the miss. Rumpel the rebound. He has 14 tonight. 55-42, Warsaw on top. Erickson lost the handle, and things falling apart for the Raiders. Groninger goes in strong and draws the foul on Votes.
Boy, it really was a bubble that just popped right there, partner. And Warsaw really applying the pressure out of that stop in the action. 6.5 to go.
There was Groninger coming down and drawing the contact. And then there was a Warsaw player who grasped the rim, and Scott Radiker wanted a technical foul called. And John Hirschberger going to go over and talk to Radiker right now.
That is his 3rd. The team 7.
Sam Vogt gets his 3rd foul tonight. Boy, Groninger, after Chuck, you would look at it into the 3rd quarter, not much of a game tonight, although he's doing a lot of good things defensively, doing what else he can. Things opened up for him, and he's really got it going here in the 2nd half.
He's trying to get to double figures for the 9th time this season, and does right there. 10 points now for Nolan Groninger, who averages also 3.5 assists a game and leads the team in steals. Good all-around player.
And good attitude by a senior. Again, didn't get frustrated by lack of scoring. Other guys were getting it done.
Hits both free throws. He now has 11. And Warsaw has opened up a 15-point lead. Here's Stauffer backing his way in. Double team. Smith for 3. That's off the mark. Stauffer, the offensive putback. And Alex Stauffer now with 7 points in this one. But Northridge still down by 13. Erickson tried to knock the ball away from Groninger. A lot of contact, no call. Groninger drives by him this time, and a travel called on Nolan Groninger.
Well, he thought he was going to be able to create something, or at least get to the free throw line. Doug Ogle not happy with the call, but
He and Trent Long having a very animated discussion down along the sideline.
They're talking about cookies and baking and that kind of thing.
Doug knows his stuff about that. Erickson for 3 hits. Jackson Erickson now with 10 points. It's his second three-pointer of the game. Northridge cuts the lead to 10. Doug Ogle trying to get his team to settle down right here. Still up by double digits.
Looks like both teams are going to have a chance to get to 50 points tonight. That's a little surprising. Expected a little bit more of a deliberate approach, but both teams have been aggressive.
Keegan Larson's first basket of the game comes as he posts up. It's only his second basket of the season. His other one came against Whitco. Stauffer airballs the 3, and we'll hear about it from the Orange Crush student body.
Number 10, Nate Coleman.
Booked Lakeside Chevrolet is Warsaw's choice Chevy dealer. They're locally owned and operated and strive to give each customer an enjoyable car buying experience, and they proudly offer discounts for educators, college students, military, and first responders. Stop by this week and see their 2019 selection of cars and trucks. That's Lakeside Chevrolet in Warsaw.
So 59-47 Warsaw lead, and now Nolan Groninger needing some attention from the trainer down on the sidelines. We'll check in with Angelo DiCarlo in a moment, try to find out what's going on there. In the meantime, Northridge gets the ball back. Outside it goes to Stoltzfus for 3, and he hits. And suddenly the lead down to single digits at 59-50. 3:01 to go in regulation. Check in on the end of this one when we come back on 46. Grow your future. Visit tcunet.com. Angelo DiCarlo's got an update on Nolan Groninger down on the sideline.
Yeah, Nolan got cut just above the wrist a little bit. They taped him up. The biggest thing was he had a little blood on his jersey, so they got that wiped off, and now he's going back in the game here momentarily. Right now on the bench, but he's ready to go back in at any moment if they need him.
All right, thanks, Angelo. The sideline report brought to us by Bill's Heating.
Chuck, we've done a lot of football games. We didn't have this much bleeding going on.
It has been an unkind cut or two for these teams tonight. Each team suffering some sort of blood injury.
We see some good cuts to the basket as well, and that's what Warsaw is looking for here. No shots unless you got a layup. Somebody cutting to the hoop.
Well, there's Reese cutting to the high post.
What would Doug Ogle give for a good entry pass?
Well, Blake Marsh trying to keep from having an over and back violation there. 2:23 to go in regulation. Warsaw up by 9. And the Tigers taking their time up top. Rumpel in trouble, and timeout called by Warsaw.
Timeout, Tigers.
We'll keep it right here.
Nolan Groninger back in for the Tigers.
Chuck, we got a 59-50 score, and
Second timeout.
there are no moral victories, but I think Coach Radiker's got to be really proud of the effort that he's gotten out of his team here tonight. They were down by double figures and had a chance maybe to fold up to 10 and head back to Middlebury, but they did not do that. They played hard, and they got down to single digits. Not a whole lot of time left, but we've gotten what we hoped for, and that's a good NLC matchup.
Well, one of the stories of this game is one of the officials working it. Angelo DiCarlo with the Bills Heating sideline report has more about that.
Yeah, John Hirschberger there. You see him on the screen right now. Obviously one of the top area officials. He's been battling mouth cancer for 8 years. Originally doctors told him he might only have 5 years to live, but he's obviously doing very well these days, continuing to fight his battle. He's officiated Notre Dame women's basketball games in the past as well. One of the all-around good guys, and you can see that he continues to love the game of basketball. He continues to be out there officiating. It's something he loves to do, and something we're very happy to see him out there doing a great job each and every game he's out there.
Absolutely, and as anybody would tell you, we need more officials, not just because John's hurting, but because the sport needs more of them. Less than 2 minutes to go. Northridge with a key steal. They go down low to Sam Vogt. His turnaround jumper won't go, though, and Reese with a rebound for the Warsaw Tigers, who lead it by 9. Groninger gets out of trouble and finds Rumpel wide open underneath for 2. Trevor Rumpel leads all scorers tonight with 16. He might be talking to Ange after this one.
Pretty good balance. People stepping up for Warsaw.
Meanwhile, the three at the other end by Nate Bowman, who now has 5. Northridge staying within striking distance, down 8. A reminder, we've got plenty of basketball action on the radio Sunday. My partner Bob Nagel will catch a flight down to Hotlanta tomorrow to see the second-ranked Fighting Irish of Notre Dame take on the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. That'll be on 92.1 and 96.9 at 3. Why is that? Because on 103.1 FM, we've got Indiana University basketball, a top 25 showdown, as number 21 Indiana takes on number 2 Michigan.
And who knows, by the end of the week, Notre Dame could be number 1. Connecticut got beat last night. Louisville could move up, and we've got Louisville coming to our house next Thursday, and we'll have that game for you on Pulse FM as well. So a lot of excitement going on, but the Irish got to take care of business down in, they're leaving hot South Bend. They're leaving hot South Bend for Hotlanta.
Now, one thing to tell you about this Warsaw team tonight, they have scored 61 points, and they've exceeded the Northridge speed limit for the season, because when the Raiders have held opponents to 60 or less, they're 4-1. But you can do the math for a 5-5 team and figure out, well, they're 1-4 when opponents score 60 or more. And Warsaw has crashed through that barrier tonight.
8-point difference for the Buck, 23 to go. Need a couple of stops.
Going to be hard to do against this very disciplined Warsaw Tiger team. Nolan Groninger and Trevor Rumpel, pair of seniors in the backcourt, and then Wyatt Amos with 2. He has 17. That's a career high for Wyatt Amos. Erickson misses at the other end. Sam Vogt misses. He hits it off the underneath side of the iron. And Warsaw appears ready to come out of here with a victory tonight in the NLC. We've got a whistle and a foul underneath that's going to be on Jalen Reese, and that'll send Sam Smith to the line, hoping to hit his first free throw of the year.
Now you're up by 10. You can't afford to turn the ball over or commit a foul like that late in the ball game. But Reese tangling down there with young Sam Smith.
You know what? There's quite the debate going on up here between you and me for player of the game. I wouldn't mind putting Mr. DiCarlo to work tonight and having him do 2 post-game interviews, maybe one with Mr. Amos and one with Mr. Rumpel.
Hey, he might vote for the trainer.
Smith misses the free throw. He is now 0 for 4 on the season in that category, and Nolan Groninger will come down to the other end to shoot.
We're going to see Sam Smith the next couple of years, and don't be surprised when he's a senior if he's not one of the area's top shooters and scorers. He's a hard-working young man. Comes from a very talented bloodline, by the way.
His brother Hank playing tonight over for Elkhart Memorial. Here's Groninger back at the foul line. And the 78% free throw shooter hits that one. He now right around his average with 12 points. He averages just under 13.
You average 13, doesn't matter if you get him in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, get your average, and he's done that tonight.
Groninger interning at Ignite Orthopedics here in Warsaw. Couldn't quite get that one to go.
I spoke too soon.
Tigers by 11. Vogt runs right over Rumpel, but I think they're going to call Rumpel for the foul, and it'll be one in the bonus for Sam Vogt.
3 on Rumpel. There have been a few times tonight, Chuck, where there are conversations between the officials and the head coaches, but I think our officiating crew's done a nice job tonight.
Well, it's been a difficult game to call. If you called every little bit of contact, this would have just been purely a free throw shooting contest, and there wouldn't have been too many people left to shoot them. So here's Sam Vogt, 72% free throw shooter at the line.
One of the big differences in that first half was that Northridge did not get to the free throw line. Warsaw was 5 of 6. They've turned that around a little bit in the second half with a little bit more effort. I think a very aggressive approach defensively.
Sam, a senior, misses the free throw. The rebound to Bowman, who launches a 3. He can't hit that one. And the rebound comes down to Amos. Amos throws it away. Vogt for a topside triple that finds a home. Sam now with 16, a timeout by Scott Radiker with 24.2 left, trailing by 8.
Would have been some candidates for player of the game on both sides tonight.
And you'll get another look at the vote triple here on the 46 replay. We talked a little bit about this on 46 picks tonight, and Angelo mentioned it in the open of the broadcast. How do you see the Northern Lakes Conference this year?
Well, I agree with Angelo and what he said about Elkhart Memorial is off to a great start. I love a couple of things. They've got 3 or 4 guys they can count on in a key situation to get them a score. They've also got a lot of depth. They go 8 or 9 deep with guys they can count on. And Kyle Sears, well, he doesn't have an overabundance of size, but he's got some numbers, he's got some quickness, and they have gotten off to a great start. Just love the attitude he's had there at Memorial and building that program up. Special year for him.
Memorial leads that game, by the way, by 3 points, 39-36, with 4:51 to play. And Angelo, as long as we've got a moment here, you're working for Redeemer Radio, 95.7 this year. I'm going to give them a free plug here. You've got a busy night Tuesday night on the radio. What have you got?
It's the Holy War, Marion versus St. Joe. The girls' game should be a good one. Marion's 16-1 in the season. St. Joe's undefeated in league play. That's at 6 p.m. And then the boys' game, Jayden Ivey averaging 26 points a game for Marion. St. Joe's been struggling a little bit this year, but 4 sophomores with a lot of size. So that's going to be a great game Tuesday night on Redeemer Radio.
That was more than a 30-second read.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to charge him.
And who's that young kid he's working with? I think it's is it Bob Berger? He's got some whiskers. He's been around basketball here in Northern Indiana, doing a great job.
Now let me ask you this, Anj, in all seriousness, as Nolan Groninger goes to the line. How can Bob Berger possibly give an impartial call of a game his son is coaching in?
Well, here's an easy reason, especially for Tuesday night, because Mark Johnson's one of his best friends. So it's pretty easy for him to be impartial when he's got one of his best friends versus his son come Tuesday night. So, and in fact, Rob, his first assistant coaching job was under his dad as an 8th grader, in 8th grade, coaching the 8th grade team, excuse me. But then it was for Mark Johnson, was his first full-time assistant coaching job.
So the Warsaw Tigers are going to walk out of here with an NLC win. Trevor Rumpel with tying a career high with 18 points tonight. And the Tigers beat Northridge tonight by a final count of 67-56. When we come back, we'll have all of our post-game features, our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise player of the game, and our electrical workers electrifying play of the game. It comes your way on the 46 game of the week, brought to you on social media tonight by Southwind Flooring.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by
the Warsaw Tigers go to 2-0 in Northern Lakes Conference play with a 67-56 triumph over Northridge tonight, raising their overall records to 7-4 on the year. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Typically for Warsaw teams, we talked about at halftime, defense and rebounding. The other part of the equation typically for Warsaw teams, and we mentioned Jim Miller, it dates all the way back to him. Seniors coming up big, and one did tonight.
Well, they certainly did, Chuck, and I think one of the things that we talked about in our pregame show, we talked about Metzinger inside, going to be a big force. We talked about Groninger on the outside, going to be a big force. You know what? 2 other guys stepped up tonight because of defensive intensity they're getting from Northridge and got it done. And Angelo DiCarlo found both of them.
Yeah, they are our IU South Bend Fulfilling the Promise players of the game, a senior and a junior here with Mr. DiCarlo.
Our players of the game are Trevor Rumpel and Wyatt Amos. Trevor, we'll start with you. Career high 18 points, and you got a big victory here in the Northern Lakes Conference. What went right tonight for the Tigers?
Just the offense. We were able to get the open man every time, and then we got shots to fall early, and we continued to keep the shots going.
How big is this one? I know it's early in NLC play, but you know how good this conference is. To get the second win, to stay unbeaten in league play, how crucial is this?
Pretty big. We just got to keep the intensity up to get the rest of the wins in.
Wyatt, I know you're a big three-point shooter, but it hasn't been going down the last few games. You only made 2 in the last 4, but here tonight, you got 5 to go down. What was feeling right tonight?
Our teammates we got offensive rebounds, we got inside-out looks. Coach just said, don't aim the ball, just shoot it. So that's what I've been thinking, don't just aim it, just shoot it.
And you got a nice vintage Warsaw Tigers assist down the stretch as well. That had to feel good to set up your teammates as well.
Yeah, that felt good. Coach Ogle just always talks about being on balance and pivoting. And so when they trap us in the corner, we pass fake and keep on balance and find the open guy under the basket.
A lot of season left to play, but what do you like about your group as you go into the stretch run?
We have a good chemistry on our team. We always play together, and we never spread apart. We always come back together in the end.
All right, these guys combined for 35 points. Big victory for the Warsaw Tigers. They're 2-0 in league play. Back to you, Chuck and Bob.
All right, thanks, Angelo, for filling in for Bo tonight. The other good thing about when we come to Warsaw, Bob, we get plenty of video for the 46 film room because they are really good at the backdoor cut, and that was our electrical workers electrifying play of the game tonight.
And good patience on offense will lead to these opportunities. Again, you get somebody overplayed just a little bit on the wing, and then to give it an opportunity, and then look at the backdoor cut and the good finish there by Warsaw. So again, the patience, the discipline that you see from Warsaw combined with, as we talked about, the rebounding here tonight were big factors.
There is a reason they have won 4 consecutive Northern Lakes Conference titles and are in the hunt for another one again this year, and who knows, we might see the Tigers a little bit later on in the season as well. So once again, the final here from Warsaw, 67-56 Tigers. Our thanks to our TV46 crew, back from their little Christmas break and looking fit as ever in 2019. Well, they never look that fit, let's be honest, neither do we. But nevertheless, Dean Korsmo, our production manager, leading the way along with our usual cast of characters. A reminder, we've got college basketball on the radio this weekend on 92.1 and 96.9. It's women's basketball as number 2 Notre Dame takes on Georgia Tech. That's Sunday at 3, and Sunday at 4:30 on 103.1 FM. Number 21 Indiana takes on number 2 Michigan. Don't forget, next Friday night, more high school basketball. Number 1 Marion takes on South Bend Riley. See it Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9. Now for the Hall of Famer Bob Nagel and Redeemer Radio's Angelo DiCarlo. Chuck Freebie, once again the final. Warsaw 67, Northridge 56. So long from Lake City.